Just A. Hendrickson commented, "The only comments we get when pointing out that China is a police state, the situation in USA is very bad. That confirms what we already know. This is your favorite half Chinese, and the reason for that is because you never come with something that is really truthful. Just assumptions. But I will make you happy and analyze your assumption. Here we have the list of countries with the largest number of prisoners per 100,000 of the national population as of January of 2023. I believe 23 other European countries have more people incarcerated per 100,000 people than China does. China ranks at 127 on the world's list. That is extremely bad for a police state. Either they are a failed police state or they are the worst in trying to be a police state. Just like the baseless accusation of genocide on Uyghurs, where the population grew with millions of people since the communists came to power in 1949 with an Uyghur population of 3.6 million and a life expectancy of 30 years old, to 2021 with an Uyghur population of 11.6 million and a life expectancy of 74.7. We can only conclude a reverse genocide, or they are really failing with committing genocide, or those claims are just baseless claims or straight out lies. Same goes for your baseless claims of China being a police state. Either they are failing extremely hard or they are just not, and I tend to think the latter. The fact they have surveillance is for the safety of the people. And literally nobody in China cares about that, except criminals. So my question is, why do you care? Are you a criminal? China has become an extremely safe country with a massive population of 1.4 billion people. So their measurements and infrastructure to secure their citizens' safety must be different than a country from, for example, where I live, the Netherlands, with only 18 million people. We can also look at the list of countries with annual rates and counts for killing by law enforcement. Rate per 10 million people, and China doesn't even make the list. Many other European countries do make it, even my country, the Netherlands. So again, either China is failing hard to be a police state or it just isn't. Now let's look at some pictures. As we can determine, they don't even carry a gun. Not much of a representative for a police state, isn't it? Most police would be happy to get a club or a baton. Not sure if they even have mace. I believe some do. Not sure if all have it. So there are no measurements we can use to prove that China is a police state. Also, since you have a problem with cameras, how about London? Even in the Netherlands have cameras everywhere. Like in The Hague, Chinatown, there are already probably between 5 and 10 cameras, and that's just for 2 streets. Now I have noticed that you have made it a mission to bash on China every time you can, because also this comment doesn't make any sense considering the video you placed it on. And I also see you doing that time after time again. Now I don't mind, it's good for my algorithm, and sometimes you even provide me with content like this, but what I find unreasonable is that you are not open for the truth, but instead you are pushing your assumptions of China on Chinese people despite the fact they are telling you otherwise. Wouldn't it make more sense for you to listen to Chinese people when they talk on Chinese matters, instead of lecturing them despite the lack of evidence and the lack of knowledge? It seems to me you also have no desire for truth as you keep lecturing Chinese people on how China is, instead of listening to what they are telling you. Anyway, I hope this was sufficient for you. Till next time. And now, let's watch a nice video on how it will be in China when you are in an argument with a police officer. See the restraint here of these police officers. I often feel sorry for them. Try this in a European country or the USA. The minimum is that you get the crap beaten out of you. And maybe even risk your own life. So much for a police state, isn't it? I think we can safely assume that what your assumption was has now been debunked. Anyway, this was your favorite half Chinese. Please leave it a comment or like. Let me know what you think. But keep it respectful. I like it, respectful. Thank you. Have a great day.